While I was attending to Mrs. Morris, my good wife descended from the chaise to take the air. Men repairing the road had left piles of rock from the nearby quarry. Mrs. Mantell, being possessed of a keen eye, for she often assists me in graving the illustrations to my researches, was taken with something that had been exposed by the quarrymen. Having applied a plaster to Mrs. Morris, I returned to the chaise and went in search of Mrs. Mantell. I found her much excited and desirous to show what she had found.
You have discovered an animal new to science.
Crown surface, you can see these lovely, long, smooth ridges which run down the surface of the crown. And then on the edges of the crown, these little crenellations. This animal was not only large and a reptile, but also a plant eater. And that's an unusual thing. At the time, no giant plant-eating reptiles were known. Mantell was really encouraged by the discovery of these new teeth, and it really started him looking in earnest at the quarries in the area. He discovered a whole variety of bones. He discovered bones like this, which is from the backbone of a very large creature. He also discovered a whole variety of broken limb bones, again of something very large. Other odd bones like this, which are toe bones. And then, most puzzlingly of all, he found these long pointed bones, for all the world rather like the horn on a rhinoceros. His problem now was to really make sense of all these. What sort of an animal did all these bones belong to?
Mantell, consumed by his search, spent hours at the Royal College of Surgeons in London.
Just across the river from Philadelphia. This was Cope's territory. He had it staked out. These pits also happened to be rich in fossils, and Cope arranged with the pit operators to receive a steady stream of fossils. Cope's problems began when Marsh asked if he could come along on a fossil collecting trip. So Cope accommodated Marsh and brought him down right into the pit. And they collected fossils, found lots and lots of things, even a few dinosaurs. They had a wonderful time. They parted good friends. They even named species after each other. But Cope didn't realize that Marsh was taking notes, and Marsh actually paid off the quarry operators. And so the steady stream of fossils that had been coming to Cope dried up.
In 1867, the new Transcontinental Railroad was pushing through a remote area of Wyoming. Two railroad men, William Carlin and William Reed, had learned about the new interest in dinosaur fossils back east and wrote to Professor Marsh in New Haven, telling him about some bones they had found while hunting antelope. What they discovered were huge heaps of leg bones and ribs. It was the most colossal pile of dinosaur remains ever found. Carlin and Reed had just kicked off a gigantic Jurassic gold rush. Marsh, using his own private fortune, financed the two railroad men to prospect for bones and send them back to him at Yale University. Back to the east went trainload after trainload of Marsh's dinosaurs. 30 cars or more, hundreds of tons.
The tons of bones coming into New Haven excited the envy of Professor Cope in Philadelphia. He sent his own men out to try to sniff around, to try to steal bones from under Marsh's nose. These men were dinosaur rustlers.